Next on Worcester News Tonight, a serious motorcycle accident in Auburn. Plus, a special ceremony tonight at the Korean War Memorial in Worcester. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tim McCone. All lanes on Route 20 are back open at this hour. This following a serious motorcycle accident in Auburn late this afternoon. The accident took place around 5 p.m. by the Cumberland Farms. Route 20 westbound was closed at South Street. The accident reconstruction team was on scene. No word yet on the extent of the injuries or what caused the accident. Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker is now speaking out about yesterday's revelation that the state court systems were not at fault in handling the case of the man who shot and killed an Auburn police officer last month. Police say Jorge Zambrano was free despite a lengthy criminal record when he shot and killed Officer Ronald Tarantino during a traffic stop. Zambrano was shot and killed by police later that day after a massive manhunt. The report calls for a reevaluation of how cases involving high-risk offenders are handled.
Because one of the issues associated with these decisions in Massachusetts is it's much tougher under Massachusetts state law to pursue a dangerousness question when you're making those decisions.
The report found that decisions made by judges in each case were all in accordance with the law. A special ceremony in the city tonight to celebrate those who have served. The Korean War Memorial played host to the city's annual flag retirement. Today marks the 100th anniversary of President Woodrow Wilson declaring June 14th as Flag Day. The ceremonial burning of old and worn American flags took place as a display on how they should be disposed. Flag Day also has a much deeper meaning than celebrating the stars and stripes.
Everybody's flag. I wear a uniform, but if I didn't have this uniform on, it's still my flag. And it's an opportunity for people who didn't serve the flag in the military or the police or the fire and other government type jobs to go ahead and pay tribute to the flag, to honor the flag, appreciate it, and appreciate it for what it means. And for us, it means life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
This year's event marked Worcester's 7th consecutive flag retirement. Well, just days after the Orlando shooting, people here in Worcester are still praying for the victims. Tuesday at Holy Cross, a vigil was held for the victims and their families. Faculty members say the college is big on inclusion of all communities. Our Brittany Schaefer was on campus today and has more.
Angel L. Candelera.
Dozens gather at Holy Cross Tuesday for an emotional vigil for the Orlando shooting victims.
I think we have an important tradition of Holy Cross of when something of this kind of significance happens, trying to bring our community together.
While many of us may have been experiencing this pain and going through the emotions that come with this on our own, it's a chance for us to come together and be in solidarity with the lives that have been lost and to grieve together.
Thousands of vigils have been taking place all around the world since Sunday's tragedy. Students at Holy Cross say the vigil shows the college's support for all communities.
And seeing this vigil connect to a lot of the other vigils around the world just showcases our ties to a lot of different communities.
Well, here at Holy Cross, we really believe in cura personalis, which is care for the whole person.
For me, it just reminds me that I'm in a part of a community that really cares deeply, not just about what's happening here, but in our world.
Holy Cross's Mary Beth Kearns Barrett says while the entire world is coming together, she hopes these senseless mass shootings will come to an end.
I feel like we've come together too many times in recent years for similar kinds of incidents, although this one obviously of a larger magnitude.
Holy Cross faculty says the discriminatory attack was heartless, and they will continue to pray for the victims and their families.
God, our constant companion, we turn to you, lifting up our hearts in prayer for those who were slain in Orlando.
A gay club is a haven of safety and joy and celebration for people who often can't be themselves, and so to feel like you're threatened in a place like that is twice as bad.
To the impacted communities, communities of color, LGBTQ communities, that they're not alone, that they're supported, that they're loved.
Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
Also tonight, there's strong reaction after President Obama addressed critics who say he's soft on terrorism. After a meeting with his national security team, Mr. Obama unleashed an angry response to Republicans and Donald Trump in particular. Catherine Sotnick has more on that story, which centers around one particular term.
That's the key, they tell us. We can't beat ISIL unless we call them radical Islamists.
A forceful President Barack Obama lashes out Tuesday at critics, specifically presumptive GOP nominee Donald Trump, who has accused him of being soft on terrorism and not using the term radical Islam when talking about the nightclub massacre in Orlando and other mass shootings.
What exactly would using this label accomplish? What exactly would it change? Would it make ISIL less committed to trying to kill Americans? The answer is none of the above.
Similar to the president's critics, Amanda Rothschild, a research fellow at the Harvard Kennedy School, says ignoring terms like radical Islam could cause more deaths in the long run.
It's important when you're in a war of ideas to be able to identify the threat appropriately.
The Obama administration hasn't used the phrase because it believes it unfairly characterizes an entire religious group for the acts of a few.
Calling a threat by a different name does not make it go away. This is a political distraction.
But like many critics, Rothschild says we must first define the enemy to combat the enemy.
I think there's an element of victim blaming in suggesting that by calling it radical Islam and facing the problem, we might provoke further attacks. I think that they are likely to hate us no matter how we act, and that we need to be able to defeat the ideology.
City Council unanimously approves the Worcester Redevelopment Authority's Urban Revitalization Plan. The 20-year plan aims to find a solution for neglected or underutilized properties in downtown. 24 properties are targeted and range from contaminated sites to sites that have upper levels which have been vacant for more than 20 years. One of the last possible options for the properties would be to secure them through eminent domain. The Worcester Chamber of Commerce supports the plan. Chamber President and CEO Tim Murray says it's another important piece to the revitalization of downtown.
You've got the Theater District, Gateway Park continuing to grow and expand, City Square, and a real vibrancy in the Canal District and Shrewsbury Street. This allows us to target properties in those areas that have been problem properties in many cases for 20, 25 years. That to me is about continuing the momentum and creating the next punch list of projects and jobs.
The WRA will now take the plan to the state for approval. Massachusetts Department of Transportation held a public meeting today at Union Station in regards to the state rail plan. The department announced that they will be updating their state's current rail plan, which was created back in 2010. Among the topics today were potential improvements to the current system and a new 20-year plan for statewide rails. The meeting also outlined goals the department has in hopes of improving the current transportation system.
And we want to improve our freight system, we want to improve our intermodal system, and we want to be mindful of any sort of future projects, 20-year vision projects, anything. We want to just be very strategic in the way we expand our system to the point where it makes sense with our overall goals.
The planned improvements would be for both passenger and freight rails. The Boulevard Diner is celebrating its 80th anniversary today with an 80-cent throwback menu. Our Olivia Lemon stopped by for a quick bite and has more.
You always keep quality, good prices, clean place, and good help.
James George says these are the keys to running a successful business. The Boulevard Diner is celebrating its 80th anniversary Tuesday.
I just want to give a great thank you back to the public, to all the patrons, past, present, future, to say thank you for allowing us to serve for 80 years in the city here.
The diner had a throwback menu to celebrate the day. Items like bacon and eggs, burgers, and American chop suey were 80 cents.
They're really friendly and, they talk to you, and since it's 80 cents, you got to tip them too, because they're doing a good job.
We're just trying to give back to the community for being here for 80 years.
George, his wife Rebecca, and their children all work at the diner, which is open 24/7.
We get a lot of college kids that come in. They came with their parents and now they're coming, so as adults, so it's good.
The Boulevard Diner has a new late night grill outside Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m.
I'm excited. This is my first time. I'm going to keep on coming back anyway.
Because as James George likes to say,
There's no place finer than the Boulevard Diner here in Worcester, Mass.
Olivia Lemon, Worcester News Tonight.
Worcester police are looking for 3 men involved in an armed home invasion on Orient Street. The alleged incident happened around 1 this morning. A male victim told police he was watching TV when the 3 suspects forced their way inside. 2 of the men were allegedly armed with guns, while the third had a crowbar. The suspects took cash from the man and his wife before leaving. No one was hurt.